Just gotta set my chart up. Alright. So, in the before dinner, we were attempting to chrono this blaster, and I believe the mag terminals asked about. So I'm just gonna sort that out now. And I'm going to need to get some sort of plastic solvent to get all the screws back into this thing, because there is not a thread left on the blaster. That's alright, I'll work something out. It's also been brought to my attention. What's up, Graham? What did I have for dinner? I had a meal from a fancy Scottish restaurant. You know the one? So, it's been brought to my attention during the meal break that this motor also needs a pinion gear grub screw. So I have to do that too. So I'm just gonna swap these terminals around, because I'm pretty sure during the confusion I've maybe placed the mouse about. I've maybe glued them in with hot glue, which is alright, because you just take them out like this. This is kind of why I like hot glue. Because it doesn't matter if you glue something a little bit incorrect, you can always take it off and do it again. And when you are taking off and doing again as often as I am, that's pretty handy feature to have. Haggis and blood sausage. Haggis and blood. Huh? I don't know that I've had haggis and blood sausage, but I'm not opposed to the idea. All right. So it's been brought to my attention during the dinner break that I need to pull this motor out and check the pinion as well. So yeah. This will be front. Alright, so make sure those terminals are correct. Just gonna pop this mag in here. Give it a quick squirt before I put it all back together. Alright, there we go. Feed and gel. Hey look, there's a Milky among some blues. Alright, so that's feeding correct. I'm just going to take this motor apart and have a look. While we're here, and I'll just sit that there as well. It's the I know I've mentioned this, but this is laser engraved, so like depending on which angle you look at it, like if I put it down there, it almost looks like there's no logo at all, and you tilt it on the right angle, it's there. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so that motor. I'm gonna drop this motor out and see what is up. Blue balls tilted, can't see the logo. Yeah, I need to like get some sort of stand going on so that it's visible. Oh yeah, righto. So hey, woo, hey, hey. Yeah, that that won't do. So we're gonna have to sort that out. All right. Fortunately, I have a large box full of tiny grub screws. Oh, look, here's one now. All right. So I'm gonna pop this in there. Little grub screw. Interestingly enough, if this was not grub screwed onto the motor, then I wonder what sort of engagement it had in the gearbox. This gearbox has this cute little peephole in the side here. Can you see that? Okay, a little peephole there, and that is, focus. That is a peephole for checking motor engagement, which is really good if you've got a nylon gearbox. To have that, because if you've ever tried setting your shims or your motor engagement or anything on a nylon gearbox that is not transparent, particularly the black ones, if they don't have that little peephole, it's a real pain in the ass. Yeah, so I'm just doing this by eye. I will measure the depth of the bevel gear there. .4. Alright. Seems like it should be good. Ideally, what you want, I mean, there's a lot of factors at play here, but I don't have a bevel gear to show you properly. I got a plastic one. Ideally, what you want is that you want motor engagement there, like that. So you want the bottom of your pinion gear to line up exactly with the side of your bevel gear. And being that it's so you don't want that'll grind, but you don't want it like jammed up too tight in there either, because then it will bind. Grind or bind. You want somewhere in between grind and bind. Bind, grind, somewhere in between. So you can usually do it by eye if you line up the bottom of that pinion with the side of the bevel. You can get a pretty good idea. You can measure the depth as well, and you can get a pretty good idea of where it should be. And then if you put it together and it's grinding and making horrible noises, then it's probably not deep enough. Gen 8s are pretty good. Gen 8s, anyone can pretty much throw a Gen 8 together. It's hard to get wrong. Just throw it on in there and be done with it. It's very hard to get it wrong with the Gen 8s. Some of the other AEG gearboxes and that sort of AEG style gearboxes like the Wells and the Gen 9. That's a different story. You can get those ones very wrong. But it's easy enough to adjust. Interestingly enough, the Gen 9 has an adjustment screw on the bottom. Doesn't appear to do anything though. It's the interesting part. I have a Gen 9 here. Let me just screw the stock onto it so that I can show you. So the Gen 9's got this screw here, which in any other thing that would be a motor adjustment screw. However, I'm skeptical because despite that being the bottom of the motor, I'm pretty sure when this screw is driven all the way in, it still can't reach the bottom of that motor. I could be wrong. But, oh, no, yeah, okay. So maybe you can. So yeah, on the Gen 9s, that's how you set the depth of the motor. You actually adjust this screw, and that does it for you. This thing on. There you go. All right, so you hear that? Now if I set this screw deeper, so yeah, she do nothing. So that's binding. So that's too far in. That's like still a bit tight. That's whining like a bitch. Oh, hear that? Yeah. Yeah, that's a sweet spot. So that's pretty much it, right? With these ones. It's you can do it by hearing. If you hear it and it's whining like a bitch, then yeah, you got to back it out or tighten it up a bit. You can find the sweet spot. It's pretty easy on these ones. With the Gen 8, you've got to preset it before you put it in. Just a tip. Just the tip. And also with the Gen 8, it's like because this is all preset distances, the gearbox holds the motor in a specific spot and it's very, very hard to get it wrong. Unless you put your pinion gear way, way down on the motor shaft. It's very difficult to get it in the wrong spot. What's the quality on the PRS? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Probably my only gripe, like it's an expensive stock. It is an expensive stock. My biggest gripe with that one is that it's expensive, and also the buffer tube restricts the cheek rest adjustment a bit. So like you can only raise the cheek rest until it's and like it hits the buffer tube, because the buffer tube actually runs through it. So yeah, that I think I've got it set in the highest position. That's the highest position there. So you can actually wind that higher when the buffer tube is off. Oh no, that's as high. Okay, so that's as high as it goes. And then, I mean, you can wind it back down. You can bring it back down flush. Alright, so that's flush. Yeah, so it's not a whole lot of adjustment there. The rear of the stock, you can wind it out for days. Like, it would actually take me days to wind it all the way out as far as it can come out. It comes out quite a lot. Yeah, it is what it is. It's decent, expensive though. But that's a sneak peek. This blaster is going to feature in a later video, so you guys will have to wait for that. A lot better than what's non the DMR. Non? I mean, you mean on. It's an interesting stock, that one, because it won't fit on everything, because it's the way it's designed to attach. It's got a special type of attachment, which is similar to AEGs again, but I'm going to get much more in depth into that in another video. I'll sort this thing out first, and that's for another day. All right, so we have got the pinion set. Got that set. I will just give it a little burst. Sounds good. All right. I will reset these. With some glue, because I don't want them to just fall out. That would be no good. All right. So we've got all this sorted. Now, was there anything else? What do you think about the guys at Tactical Edge calling themselves Gel Blaster technicians? GMAC, do you think I have to answer that question? I do know that the guys at Tactical Edge basically spend, when I say the guys, I mean the technicians at Tactical Edge basically spend their days fixing people's broken blasters, which is not too dissimilar to how I spend my days, I guess. The thing is, a lot of people buy all these bits and pieces, whack it in their blaster themselves, and I mean, props to them. Go ahead, do what you want, live your life. But a lot of people get it fairly badly wrong, end up breaking shit, and then having to send it to someone who can fix it. And that's DMR. It's pretty much, yeah, that's how it goes. That's what happens. Okay. Was there anything else I had to do to this? Let me just double check my pick list. Okay. Okay. Mac terminals. Volt battery. Plus casing plus functional. Pinion gear. Alright, I think we're good with this one. Alright, so I want to put it back together and we're gonna chrono it for science. It sounds pretty beefy. I don't know the source of the parts on this blaster. I don't know the source of the gearbox or the parts or anything. What I do know is, I mean, it all looks pretty beefy. Sounds beefy. What are you guys predicting? 217 FPS. That's pretty low. Like, I mean, I don't want to make predictions off of the sound of a blaster, but this thing sounded like it was in the 300s. You know, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Hoping 285, 290. Sounds pretty hectic. Let's see. That was 229. I'm just gonna have to, this is 249. I'm just gonna have to do this off camera, guys, because I'm just spraying gel all over my bench. I don't like that. 258, 254, 256, 265. I thought there'd be more in it than that, just quietly. I don't know, it just sounds really beefy. I'm having trouble getting this to line up with my chrono properly. I was up around 260s. Last one was a 253. I've often been told by people that my chrono seems to read a bit lower than most though, so don't think that that's a low number or anything. I don't know what the story is, whether my chrono's defective or something, or I don't know, but 260s was what we're getting. Given that when I chrono a Scar out of the box, it's around 200. So a lot of people on YouTube have put videos up of the Scar stock pushing 250 or 240 stock, and like I've very rarely ever seen a stock Scar push over 220. So so 260 on my chrono is definitely a decent little punch. I mean, if you wanted, anyway, yeah. If you want FPS, there's ways of doing it, but it's not the be all and end all. I'm also using blues because I had a big bottle of them doing nothing. So if I'm going to blast them up against the wall in a chrono, I might as well just use them. All right, so that is that one sorted out. I'm just going to have to fix these stupid screws that are no longer self-tapping. That's all right. I'll sort that out. Sort that out off camera because it's going to be boring as batshit watching me do screws up and stuff like that. But she's all good. I just got to finish off the last little things. Yeah, I think. What else have we got going on? I think that's about it. New gearbox and upgrades going in. One did 230 for half a mag and died. Yeah, it's, as I said, it's not the be all and end all FPS. Alright, I think, unless you guys have got any questions, how's the grouping? I didn't even test it, to be honest. Although you don't have a hop up, so I'd assume that the grouping wouldn't be great. that's my assumption. If you want a good grouping, get a hop up. DK make a good one for the Scar. It just fits on the end here, and it's quite nice. The SLSS ones are also pretty good. Do you want me to test the grouping? I can test it right now, I guess. Like, I'm here. Alright, here we go. Mag with gels in it will help. Alright, here we go. Mag with gels in it. Oh! She doesn't sound real good. Something let go then. Something just let go, and it could have been that pinion. Did you hear that? There was something not real happy in there on that last shot. Yeah, that Something in your gearbox. Could be that pinion. Oh, that's no fun. I was kind of hoping I could get away with not having to open the gearbox up. Looks like we're opening the gearbox up. All right. She sounded good for about one mag. And she sounded not so good. Yeah, she threw it. You have to put some Loctite on that. She threw it into the gearbox. Gosh. There is no thread left on these. All right. It's coming out. Just gonna pop this spring switch. Just makes it easier. These nylon ones are really tight for some reason. The standard Jingming ones just sort of fly out at any given opportunity. The nylon ones are really tight. All right. Put all this aside for now. So we got a grub screw to find. Something's... Yeah. Doesn't look healthy in there. So it looks like she's thrown the grub screw into the gearbox at high RPM. So it's probably going to be a new gear set involved in this. No fuss, all of it. Test which one feels better if you can install. The Vector is cool, no doubt there. However, the best blaster bar none is the UMP 45. Just saying. You may notice I'm holding the spring retainer in because I couldn't get it out. So, kind of expecting it to shoot out at any moment now. This is not the way I would usually disassemble gearboxes, because usually I like to keep them on the bench rather than having them shoot across it. Alright, here we go. Contact! Alright, well that's interesting, because usually there would be a spring in there. Where the fuck is the spring? What has happened here? This is bizarre. This is absolutely bizarre. Okay, so the spring is inside the plunger. So I guess the spring guide that was in here has come off and embedded itself inside the plunger with the spring. So this is a time bomb right here. Just waiting for a spring to fly out of it. Wow, that is amazeballs. I've never seen that happen before. I'm assuming there's like supposed to be some sort of spring retainery thing on the end of that. This is a brand new thing. I've never seen that happen before. What I am seeing is a bevel gear that's minus a couple of teeth. So that's not too fun. I don't see. All right, this is bizarre. I'm gonna have to like do something crazy to get this spring out. This is. I've never seen anything like this before. This is like. It's like in the. I don't know. I'm lost for words. I was like, when I opened it up, I was expecting it to explode with like springs flying out everywhere, and then I'm like, oh, where's the spring? The spring is not there. So clearly there's some deeper issues here. That will need to be replaced. These ones are still pretty good. I'm curious as to how I'm going to get this spring out of this plunger. That is amazing. Oh, the teeth, the broken teeth. So it looks like it's taken 3 teeth off of that. Yeah, I'm waiting for the boing too. Like, it's amazing. What else is amazing is that this plunger is held together with that spring jammed in there. Like, I've seen plungers break for less. All right, so I'm gonna try and manhandle this spring out of here without hitting myself in the face. All right. Spring. Spring is tight in there as well. Like it's. Now this bit, I'm assuming was supposed to stay in here. All right. So, T-piece, cylinder. Everything in the cylinder looks nice. Sector gear looks good. It all looks alright except for that. All right. Well, see what we got. Yeah, no, I don't think the spring's meant to be that tight in the plunger. I don't. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't sell the metal charging handle. I can't even remember where I got it. I think I got it from Playful Bag. Yeah. So 0.53. 0.8 with a shim. So 0.69. All right. We're gonna need less shim. We're gonna need shmoo removal. I am super curious to know where that grub screw went. I'm also curious to know the diameter of this spring. $14.66. 13.95. So this diameter of this spring is really large as well. So if you notice this spring goes in and out of there no problems, whereas this one, it's actually like, it's tight in there. I don't know that this is the appropriate spring. It just seems a bit, I don't know, it just seems a bit large in diameter. I suppose it'll work, but I've never seen one that tight before. It was also interesting that this piece had come off inside of it. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. All right, we'll fix a. I probably do have 1.3 springs in the house. Probably have many. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. I'll chuck a different spring in there and see how that goes. All right. 20. Let's see. Point three of a mil. Now the other shim that was on this, I'm going to assume is 0.3. That is correct. I'll be able to reuse that shim. 0.21, 0.20. That gives us 0.1 free play, which is acceptable. All right. So all is not lost. Okay. The rest of these were shimmed up pretty well. So we'll be able to crack on with those. And we will need to shmoo it up. I think I will just chuck in one of my 1.3s that I have around here just to be sure. All right. So I'm just getting some Loctite on this thing. Now, so I will chuck this on the dyno, just to see what it actually is. The lube I'm using is officially called Grease. I don't know what it is, but it's the stuff that's specifically sold with blasters or for blasters or whatever. So super lube bit called whatever. All right, so this spring. Let me break away from the tripod for a moment here. Okay, so this spring is, it's only like a 11 at best, maybe parallax. Taking into account parallax, it's an 11. So not only is it too big in diameter, it's also piss weak for a 1.3 spring. Like I got 1.2s that'll do 11. Here's an 11.3. So this is a 1.2, and that's an 11.3. So yeah, it's a weak ass 1.3. But I'll whack this one in. I'll see what I've got another one here. What's this one? I've got heaps. That's a 1.2 as well. I think I've got a 1.3 on the bench here. Somewhere. I'll whack something in it anyway to get it functional, and then I'll go from there. This one actually fits in the plunger properly. And it fits around that too. It's kind of cool. Okay. Okay, so shims are stuck to that. Get this non-return spring back in its place. Who was it that was telling me they hold their non-return spring with magnets? So I've never understood how that works. All right. Get cracking on with this. Now, this is pretty. Oh, geez. This is a pretty nice gearbox, like quality wise. Alright, so it's quite tight. Give it some schmoo. Do you think it could cope with 1.4? Yeah, I think it could cope with a 1.4. Take the gamble, whack one in instead of the 1.3. Why not? I mean, we're in the business of springing things up till they explode, right? That's pretty much what I do. All right. Everything appears to be in order. Plunger seal checks out. Ooh, that's a good seal. Look at that. That's a spectacular seal. Real nice. Yeah. Seldom see a seal like that. That is there's one thing that is very good about this particular gearbox. All right. Plunger in. On return spring. I still don't understand the non-return spring magnet technique. Maybe I never will. Okay. Meanwhile, in Chattown, what's going on? "23 people online. Got to be saying something interesting. More interesting than this gearbox. Maybe. Maybe a little. Just a little. Alright, well, if we're going there, we're going there. When do you add the grease? Did you not see me add the grease? We will see 300 FPS today. Must have missed it. We had that whole conversation about what grease I was using and everything. We talked about how, like, I use this grease and stuff and things. Missed out on that one. Zoned out. Yeah. That's what I should do on all my live streams. I should just blow shit up. Just like put the biggest spring in until things break. That sounds like a great idea. These aren't big springs, by the way. They kind of are. They are. Okay, they are. They kind of are. But I don't. It's not going to break this. All right. Where are we? Mr. Bean's Chop Chop. More smoke. We could well get more smoke. No, we won't get more smoke. Had enough smoke for at least this week. There is a screw missing there. Somewhere. This one. I don't believe it fell on the floor. Usually when you've lost a screw, they're stuck to the side of the motor. However, this is not the case. Not tonight. That spring retainer is really tight, by the way. What have I done with that screw? Alright. This is riveting must-see viewing for all the audience here. Watch Le Guido look for a screw. It's in the gearbox, don't worry, it'll spit it out. Better not be in the gearbox. Just put that damn thing together. I have a feeling it may have rolled onto the floor during all the shenanigans. I have an array of spare screws, none of which are the right size, I think. Let me just check. Like a M2 or something, M3. I'm really sorry about this, guys, but I'm gonna have to look for a screw for this gearbox. But I will sort this out. I think I'm gonna have to call it quits for now. Better than ground free air too. Heard it fall on the floor about 5 minutes. Yeah, I did drop a few things, but I don't think a screw was one of them. It could have been. I'll find it. My floor's not that messy. But I will find it. If not, I'll find another replacement. Although this gearbox has got nutserts, so it has to be a machine screw, not a self-tapping screw. So that's something different that I'll have to find. Unless it fell over the back. Alright, anyway. I'm gonna have to call it because you guys don't want to watch me searching around for a screw for bloody half an hour or whatever. So I will come back to this. Yeah, we'll go episode 3. All right, catch you guys.